Hello, Red Mist. Good evening. What's up, boss? Death Company tonight. And I really need to get some paint on this Dreadnought. And also this Ball Predator conversion thingy that I'm working on. So a few different pieces, bits and bobs to get going with. Oof. Good evening. I will be live for a couple hours tonight. Just the standard. I feel like I've got a real vibe for painting going on at the moment. I've got 2 videos that are almost completed as well that I was working on till pretty late last night. I've got that Astroth video I promised last weekend on the show. It's coming on nicely. And then I've got another video I'm working on about spraying in crappy weather. So I've got 2 videos in the pipeline that I've been working on this week. But tonight it's just... I haven't really decided if I'm going to keep playing Double Ball Predator. But I've been working on this bit of a conversion turret for my Ball Predator. So I'm just going to... I don't know how much... I don't know how much time I'm spending on this turret. But I'm at least gonna get rid of all the white undercoat on it, I guess. Maybe put like 4 colours on it and then just put it to the side. So I've got these Death Company with eviscerators I'm trying to work on as well. They're probably more important than this converted Ball Predator turret, but that's the way it goes. Taking a break from painting 20 Blood Angels tonight to paint my new Orcs. Got the Orc Combat Patrol for $20 on Facebook Marketplace. That's a good deal, man. I buy stuff all the time on eBay and Vinted now as well. I really like buying secondhand. Like, most of the time the secondhand stuff is like new. You know, people buy it and then they never get to it, so... That's a nice find, a Combat Patrol for $20. You're not going to find that very often, right? Double Pals are the goats. Yeah, I don't know if Double Pals fit my style of play quite correctly. I did enjoy having 1 ball at that tournament that I was just at, but I feel like I didn't do the double well enough. Is that a bolt action model? No, it's a converted turret, man. It's actually Redeemer sponsons. That I've glued together with some random ass spare tank bits, so that, because I didn't want. I've already got a Ball Predator that's covered in combi. It's, what is it? It's like the assault cannon. So this basically, like, my assault cannon and the Ball Predator goes in here, so it covers up the assault cannon. So the idea is that, like, I'm kind of worried that the Ball Predator is going to go to Legends, man. This whole edition, I've been really reluctant to buy anything Firstborn, because too many of my Firstborn models went to Legends at the start of 10th edition, right? Like, enough models went to Legends at the start of 10th edition to basically put me off buying anything Firstborn. So I think this edition, the whole 3 years, I've been like super resistant to buying any Firstborn models. I've bought a bunch of Primaris models. Like, I bought the Combat Patrol, I bought the Death Company box, I think I got another Impulsor, I think I got another Gladiator Lancer, I bought an Invader ATV, even though I've still never used it. I must have bought some other stuff. So, you know, I still bought my standard amount of stuff, I would say. But I don't think I bought anything that was Firstborn this whole edition, because I had a really bad experience at the end of, or right at the start of the edition, where like loads of Firstborn models of mine had to get put into display cabinet indefinitely, right? Like they're just in the display cabinet forever. I guess I'm never using those models again. So I would have liked probably to buy some Vindicator tanks. I didn't. I've been borrowing a friend's Vindicator tank when I want to go to a tournament. I would have probably quite... I would have quite liked a second Flamer Ball Predator, but I haven't bought that either. So yeah, I just haven't bought anything that potentially will go to Legends, right? Be that what it may. It would be really nice to have a Blood Angels tank for 11th edition. Are you using Humbro paint? No, I use the standard Games Workshop paints, man. Occasionally I buy other brands, but for the most part on this channel I would say 90% of my painting is with GW paint. There's only a few colours of GW that I really don't like, so I buy other brands. It's usually whites. I really hate Korax white. So for that I buy like another brand of paint. I think I call it by Vallejo Model Color White. I really hate the Games Workshop white. I just don't think it has very good coverage at all. Not that I have to paint apothecaries very often, but like when I've done them, I have not enjoyed it. Dastardly, good evening. He says, at my last tournament, I lost the top table only by 3 points in a slobber knocker. Enjoyed what I have learned from you. Well, thanks for that, Dastardly. You'll win your next tournament. Keep trying, dude. It took me... I'm trying to think. I think it, like, when 10th edition launches, I'll have been back in the hobby just over 9 years. So, I came back to the hobby at the start of 8th edition. It took me until 2024 to win a tournament. So that was 7 years. And I went to some more tournaments then as well, because I didn't have kids, and obviously when you don't have young children you can go to more tournaments. So I went to more tournaments per year, probably average 4 or 5 events per year, and so it probably took me like 20-25 GTs to finally win one. So keep up the good fight. If you're getting close at the top table, I feel like it's only a matter of time, right? Like, I feel like you've got to lose some games on the top table before you will eventually win a tournament. So if you've just lost a game at the top table and if you've gone away and you think, damn it, I was so close to winning the tournament, I think it's just a matter of time until you'll win one, right? Because I feel like you've got to get that experience of getting to the top table and getting beat. Obviously that's my opinion, but there we go. Speargrass is in the house. Good evening, Speargrass. I hope to finish my second Death Company Dreadnought for this weekend's game. Do you know what? I've got the Death Company Dreadnought, I've got my Blood Angels Dreadnought right here on my painting table. I put him on the painting table the other night and I didn't put any paint on him whatsoever. So tonight we are definitely going to put some paint on him. I may as well just start right now by putting a little bit of Brass Scorpion on these multi-meltas, right? So we're definitely going to at least put a tiny bit of paint on him. You think Predators will go Legends? Maybe. I mean, I think anything that is Firstborn has like a 75% chance it could go Legends. I mean, unless they come out and announce that Firstborn are going to stick around, which I feel like... Here's the thing. If Firstborn were going to stick around, why would they not have announced it? Because, I mean, it's not... I'm not the only channel, I'm not the only YouTuber that's saying, like... Or I'm not the only person on Reddit saying, beware of buying Firstborn. You know, like, lots of people are saying it's risky to buy Firstborn, right? So if they were going to be keeping Firstborn all the way through the next edition, it could only be a good thing if they announce it, right? Because then people, anyone that's on the fence like me, who's like, I'm not buying any more Vindicator tanks, I'm not buying any more Battle Predators, we would instantly be able to go out and buy them, right? So I think it's risky to buy anything Firstborn. Tactical squads, if you can still even buy tactical squads, you probably can. Devastate, anything Firstborn, it's risky. Hello, Flowbrain. Hello, Campbell, good evening. Did I say hello to you, Greg? Sorry if I did. I'm a little bit tired today. My daughter woke me up last night in the middle of the night, and then the day before that, my son peed the bed. So I'm having a very broken sleep week. Where I had to change a bed. You know, if you've ever had kids, you'll know what it's like to have to change a bed at like 3 o'clock in the morning, find new bed sheets, find new pillowcases, strip the bed. It's like the worst thing ever, is it? But do you know what? He hasn't peed the bed in ages, but he managed to do it this week. So shit happens, I guess, or pee happens, more accurately. So I'm a little bit tired this week. Love the upgrade kits for the Dread. I got 2 sets from my Death Company Dreadnought. Yeah, I do like the upgrade kits. I mean, it's really disappointing that the Games Workshop kits really didn't have very much customization on them. I'm really glad that we've got some third-party people or third-party companies that have gone to the extra effort to give us more thematic upgrade kits. Like, I'm really glad that's something that we have, because if we didn't have that, I feel like I would feel very disappointed about the Death Company Dreadnought or the Blood Angels Dreadnought in general. Hello, Lone Moose, good evening. They've said the Rhino is getting a full rework, so we may get Rhino chassis and they may rework tanks as well. Have they actually said that? Like, that's like, you can link to an official post from Games Workshop that they've said that? Or you're talking about, like, Valrak said that? Nothing against Valrak, he's usually pretty accurate, but, you know, like, has there been an actual official post about it? I've got a funny feeling that 11th or 12th will bring mixed squads like Primaris, Devastators, Tacticals. Well, I mean, the sooner they announce that, the better, Campbell, because it would clear up a lot of confusion in the space, I feel like. Because I think the general sentiment is don't buy firstborn models if you can avoid it, because we don't know how many years or how long they're going to be a viable choice for, right? Like, I think that's fair. Good afternoon, Boris. I was going to say good afternoon. It's early for you. It's 8 p.m. here. I'll be live till just after 10 tonight, so a couple hours. We are doing a battle report next Wednesday night. That'll be, I think, against Andrew. He's building a new Necrons list. But, you know, some Wednesday nights I don't always get an opponent, and I'm actually at a point where we're like so deep in this edition, I'm actually happy to get another night painting. So taking a bit of a me night tonight, I guess, and just getting some more paint on my models. I feel like I didn't do enough painting over the Christmas holidays. That's on me, you know, like that's my own fault, because I definitely had time to myself in the Christmas holidays, but I wasted it away playing video games. Which I must admit I haven't done for a long time. So normally when I have time to myself, I usually try and make like an extra YouTube video or something like that. But this Christmas holidays, I definitely played too much Battlefield 6. I'm kind of done with Battlefield 6 now. I haven't logged in for like a week. I think it was a fun game. I think I'm done with it. I think the next game I'm excited about is Dawn of War 3? No, Dawn of War 4, sorry. That's the one. I'm looking forward to Dawn of War. I think that'll be a good game. It's always nice to have... Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like Battlefield 6 is a great video game, but I also feel like they didn't put enough content in it at launch, which is probably a good thing, because it means I'm bored of it now. I used to play all the Battlefield games. I must have had hundreds of hours. I played them all the way back to Battlefield 2. Which would have been like the early 2000s, maybe. Video games are not a waste of time. I mean, I guess that, you know, they aren't a waste of time, right? They're a good way to relax. I enjoy video games. I just don't play them as much as I once did, right? Phil's excited about Resident Evil 9. Good evening, by the way, Phil. No, I'm excited about Dawn of... Oh shit, that's the wrong colour. Ah, that's gold. That's not the colour I'm painting these, damn it. You distracted me, Phil. No, I'll let you off. That's gold. That's not the colour I was doing these. I'm doing them in Brass Scorpion. I must have picked up the wrong pot. Do I have anything that I need to put gold on right now? And I'll just do some gold. No, because... I mean, I could do the filigree. Yeah, okay. I've been playing a lot of Ravenswatch. I don't know what that is. Evening, Lone Moose. Ooft says, I'm also worried about Ball Predator. I haven't bought it for the reason it feels like there's no way they're getting rid of our only unique vehicle, but they took away a Librarian Dreadnought, so who knows. Yeah, I mean, I would like clarity on what's getting taken away sooner rather than later, but I don't think we're going to get it. Angels of Death Marine says, oh yeah, that was the question I answered. Do you think Predators will go away? As with the new Chaos release, Huron, they have painted up some Predators for the art, so they might not be going away just yet. Yeah, I mean, Predators might not be going away just yet, I guess. I guess we'll find out, huh? You're a distraction, Carnifex. You are indeed, Phil. How are you? I watched the Super Bowl. I was very disappointed. It felt like a very one-sided game in the fact that, like, I think it was the Patriots didn't even score a single point in the first half. I was like, I don't know what the hell their offense was doing, but it seemed like the most one-sided Super Bowl maybe I've seen in a while. And then, yeah, I've got the Astrath video I've been working on, so that's going to be coming out on Friday. That's going to be an interesting video. Catan are just super nasty at the moment, right? Like, I saw that there was like some balance updates today, right? I saw that they changed the ruling for the orbital strike force. They added what I said they were going to add. They made it so that your Terminators can't be lifted off the battlefield if they're in engagement range. I kind of thought that was a... What did I say? I kind of thought that was a mistake when they released it, right? Did Necrons get any nerfs today? Because they friggin' need a nerf, but I don't know if they did. I didn't see any Necron nerfs. Halo says, member for 17 months. Hello, I'm working on Emperor's Children today. Dude, thank you so much for being a member for 17 months, dude. I super appreciate it. Yeah, I really, really do appreciate it. I feel like this economy is killing me at the moment in every company out there. But no, so I very much appreciate the support. I very much enjoy making videos. I think I actually said that in the video that comes out on Friday, because I filmed it, and like one of the things I said was like, I've really enjoyed making content for the members and for the channel viewers this edition. I'm really looking forward to doing it next edition as well. Hopefully I can make better content next edition, but I mean, we'll see. The Catan are untouched. That makes no sense, does it? Games Workshop, maybe the Catan are holding the Games Workshop development team hostage, because those Catan models, they have a 67% win rate in that detachment. That's just insanity. And I guess being -1 damage makes them like our ultimate nemesis. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, Phil, you're right. It makes sense if they really want to sell the new Catan. I guess that makes sense. People will buy the new Catan model anyway, I feel like, whether it's good or not. It looks cool. I really dislike these Catan on 40mm bases, though. Like, their profiles are way too good now to be on 40mm bases. That is absolutely obnoxious. Lamartas and 10 Death Company, dude, are a decent choice, but they're not Catan hunters. They don't have quite enough damage to be a Catan hunting type unit. The -1 damage from the Catan really, really hurts them. What do you think about 6 aggressors with an apothecary with speed of the Primarch enhancement? I mean, not too many people are playing aggressors, but I think twin linked. The apothecary gives them lethal hits. They've got fight first because of that. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's a decent combo, right? Just not many people are playing it, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It just means people are preferring jump marines. Good morning from Asia. It's very satisfying watching you paint. Oh, dude, I appreciate that. Well, I've never been to Asia. What part of Asia, man? I appreciate the nice comment, though. Thank you. Someone actually nominated me this week for that Warhammer Heroes thing. You know that thing? Where they, like, every year they ask the community to nominate people for, like, the Warhammer Heroes. And, like, they send off a big list to Games Workshop and it gets posted on Warhammer Community. Somebody actually reached out and asked for my email address because they wanted to nominate me for Warhammer Heroes. And I just... So someone messaged me on Facebook asking, and I actually replied to them and said, like, dude, you've just made my day, actually, because I've never been nominated for a Warhammer Hero before. I wasn't, like, it's not like I didn't want to be nominated. I think it's a cool initiative. So just actually having someone reach out and say, like, can I nominate you? It made my day. It was nice. Singapore. It's 4:44 a.m. Well, good morning. I'd like to go to Singapore sometime. I think I've got a friend actually from school that moved to Singapore. I've seen some of it on like, we have a documentary program here in the UK called I mean, you might have it because it's probably shipped worldwide by the BBC, but it's called Planet Earth, and I'm sure there was like an episode on Singapore because you've got like a lot of like green initiatives and green cities and stuff in Singapore. I feel like I would like to visit that sometime, but it won't be for a long time because kids, man, kids are expensive. They keep me on my toes, and yeah, we can't travel to Singapore, not right now anyway. But it looks cool. I'd like to go. I think the airport looks cool in Singapore as well. Singapore is, this is going to be a really dumb question, but like, a lot of people there speak English, obviously, right? Like, but you have, like, I don't actually know what the language is. I was going to say Singapore. Yeah, I have no idea. What is the main language in Singapore? Someone school me in chat. We're a former British colony. Oh yeah, the damn British. Us damn British taking over the whole world and thinking we can do whatever we want, huh? I think it's good that at least the British are giving some of their countries back their independence now. I think that's good, at least. Ian says, good evening, John, getting back into the hobby after 15 years. Dun 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 dun. 15 years, so 2011. Look at that maths. Bet you didn't know I could do maths as good as that. 2011. What was happening in 2011? I have no idea. Trying to think of a film that came out in 2011. I couldn't tell you. But yeah, I just got the Blood Angels Control and wondering what I should follow up with to keep it 11th edition proof. I think I made a video on how to start Blood Angels from that Combat Patrol box. Yeah, I'm convinced I did. Give me a minute for my brain to remember what that video might be called, and I'll link it in the chat to you. Because it's probably like, okay, every 6 months or so, because Games Workshop have a habit of changing like points or rules or something every 6 months. Pacific Rim was 2011. There you go, that's a while ago. Welcome back to the hobby, dude. I took a long break as well. Maybe not quite as long as 15 years, but I think I'm coming up to being back for 9 years. I was thinking about that today. I was like, man, I've been back in Warhammer in 9 years, and I'm not sick of it. So it must just prove, because I think most other things that I've done in my life for 9 years I'm probably quite sick of. So it must just prove how good this hobby is, or how multifaceted. Maybe that's the wrong word, but you know what I'm trying to say. Evening, Marius. Good evening, good evening. How are you? When are you going to paint some more models for me, Marius? I've got lots to do. I'm joking, obviously. I've got your Dreadnought, man. I've been using it in the battle reports. I appreciate you sending that through, by the way. I said I was going to use 2 Death Company Dreadnoughts in the battle reports. I only had 1 ready. And then I just got a message from Marius. He's like, check your... What was it like? He was like, check your post in the next few days. I've just sent you a I've just sent you my converted Death Company Dreadnought for an indefinite loan. Very kind. Very trustworthy as well, because, I mean, I could just disappear off the face of the earth tomorrow, right? Haha, and I will be richer, one Death Company Dreadnought. And you will never see it again, you know? I feel like I need to do the Dr. Evil thing. I have your Death Company Dreadnoughts, and you must pay me $1 million. I don't know why I'm finding that so funny, but oh man, I miss Dr. Evil, eh? Austin Powers. Fuck, Austin Powers probably came out in about 2011. I just built Titus and it was miserable, so I'd probably enjoy trying Blood Angels. What was wrong with building Titus? Let me find this video for Ian real quick, one sec. I think if you go into the channel and you look up like this URL, YouTube/@BA_Commander @BA_Commander/videos. You can get here by like just clicking on the channel, right? Because this is the channel page. Click videos, and then the one you're looking for is dun, 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 dun. When did the Combat Patrol come out? Oh, I can't remember, man. I feel like it's... I have awoken. John, thanks so much for subscribing. I think... You know, sometimes when I'm looking at all these videos I've made, I'm like, bloody hell, I can't, you know, hard to remember them all. I feel like it's one of the starter videos though, right? Like, so look for, I mean, I guess you're like, it might be this one, the best 1000 point starter list. But you definitely want to, like, there's a few different starter videos, right? Like, I'll have to search, but I can't remember. If anyone can remember what video I'm sure I made a video about like starting the Combat Patrol. You can actually search here though, can't you? Search Combat Patrol. There you go. That's it. There it is. Look, starting Blood Angels using the Combat Patrol. Oh, that was obvious. And that's the video you're looking for. Should probably just search that in the first place, huh? The mold lines are so bad, the sculpt itself isn't very friendly either. Huge gaps and needed filling. Oh man, I hate it when the models have gaps and mold lines. Because I don't like the clean mold lines. It's like one... If the mold lines are really bad, I might do a little bit work on them, but like I prefer just sticking them together and being like, hopefully the mold lines are not just too bad. Will you redo them all in the summer? When the new edition comes out, I mean, almost every video I've ever made, except like the odd painting video, will become redundant, right? Unless you're going back in time and you want to, unless you want to keep playing 10th edition CFT. I mean, that's one of the biggest problems with my channel is like, you know, other YouTube channels might have like quote-unquote evergreen content, right? They make a video, it's good forever. That's not the case with my channel. It's like when a new edition comes out, not every video, but a lot of the videos become redundant or old or outdated. So in some ways it's cool because I can make a bunch of similar content, I guess. And I mean, I feel like I'm getting very comfortable now. Like in the early days, see, when I made a tactics video, I would need like 15, 20 takes. You know, like when I start my videos and it's like, good evening, brothers, welcome to the Blood Angels Commander channel. Like, I feel like I can usually get my video out in like 2 or 3 takes now, if that makes sense. Like, I don't need to be saying one sentence, pausing, cutting it, cutting in the next sentence, because in the early days my videos were like 100 takes because I wasn't comfortable in front of the camera and everything just took longer and my editing wasn't good. So it's like I feel like my videos probably feel a bit more natural now. It's just like me speaking to the camera. I must have, like, you know, like when I was saying there, like, look at all the videos I've made, like I've got to a place where I'm quite comfortable. So yeah, it is annoying that I'll have to make a crap load of similar videos again, but at the same time, this YouTube channel is like my hobby now, right? Like, you know, like it probably sounds pretty sad, but that's what I do for fun, right? Like on a weeknight, when it's on a Monday or Tuesday night, I'll just sit down and start making my tactics videos, and I just listen to some music, and I was going to say, I don't put headphones on. I just listen to some music, and you know, like I'll get a flow together. I'll make some slides. I'll film it in a lot less takes. So, yeah, I've got somewhat comfortable. Yes, I'll have to make a lot of videos again, but hopefully there'll be new videos to make as well, right? Hopefully we'll have like new rules, and we'll have new models, and we'll have hopefully some new detachments. So I don't mind it too much, but yes, when 11th edition hits, it'll be somewhat of a blank page, I guess, or a blank canvas for my channel, and I have to make a lot of the content. I mean, I guess you could argue that the same thing happened with 9th edition. I'm not going anywhere, though. Here's the thing, I'm not going anywhere. Like I said, this I think if I didn't have this channel, I don't know what I'd do with my evenings anymore. I'll probably just sit here and paint anyway. And just, the only difference when I'm painting, the only difference is, like, if I wasn't streaming, rather than listening to this like royalty-free music, I'd probably be listening to like Metallica or something, right? Or I'd be listening to a documentary on YouTube, or sometimes I even listen to Warhammer audiobooks, right? So it really would make I suppose it would make no difference to me. New rules for old models, 4 damage on Dante. Yeah, I mean, you're dreaming, Boris, if you think Dante's going to get 4 damage a swing. Come on. I mean, we're all hopeful for the future, but, like, you got some, whatever you're smoking, you need to pass it out between us, because there's no way they're giving Dante 4 damage, right? Like, that's not happening, man. I mean, like, they seem to have, like, attacks on jump pack characters. There's no way they do that. You'd better stick around. Someone needs to tell me how to play. I'll be here, man. I ain't going nowhere. I'm excited for the new edition. I'm excited for things to be switched up. I think the last few editions have all been positively moving in the right direction. You know, like, this edition has better secondaries, better terrain than last edition. We could argue all day till we're red in the face about, like, the detachments and some things like that, but I do think that, like, this edition has been better than last edition. I think that things will continue to improve, so it's just a case of sticking with it, and if you're upset about something, try and not let it beat you up. Like, Dante doesn't need 4 damage. How do people feel about Angelic Inheritors after the release of RCO? I mean, Angelic Inheritors is still good as it was, man. Just a lot of people are playing RCO. RCO for me feels more like a Blood Angels detachment, right? Angelic Inheritors, for the, like, it's a shooting, like, it needs to do a lot of shooting. If you like to do shooting, then like, if you're a Marine player that likes to do shooting and you play Blood Angels, you should be playing Inheritors, because that's what that detachment does. It needs plasma inceptors. It probably needs like 2 or 3 more shooting units, right? I think it would be cool if we could keep the custom hero rules. I really liked the custom hero rules that we had in 9th edition, honestly. I had a bunch of really fun characters that I'd made in 9th edition. I really do miss them. So I hope that we'll... I hope in the future, because this thing it goes up and down all the time, right? I hope in the future that we get I hope we get to bring custom characters back into the fold. That would be ideal for me. Don't forget to like the stream, says Boris. Yeah, if you enjoy any of my videos, please do consider liking stuff. It does help out. I mean, you know, the YouTube algorithm is a pretty difficult thing to appease these days, I guess. So any likes, etc., do help me out ever so much. So I appreciate that. I do think the Sanguinar should have a sweep or a strike profile. You know, when Helbreck, like last edition, Helbreck got a sweep or a strike profile, and I was so excited when Helbreck got the sweep or the strike, because I was like, oh my goodness, they've given Helbreck a sweep and a strike. Then, you know, like, because Dante had more attacks, I was like, they are going to definitely give Dante a sweep or a strike, right? Like, he's going to get like a sweep where he can do a shitload of 1 damage. That's going to be amazing. And then they never gave any of our characters sweeps or strikes, and I was like, oh, well, that's super underwhelming. I was convinced that when Helbrecht got one, because I think in the lore, I could be wrong here, I'm not the hugest Black Templars fan, but I feel like in the lore, Dante is a stronger combat character than Helbrecht. Would that be fair to say? Mephiston should get a sweep. Yeah, I mean, Mephiston's one of the most powerful Psychers in the Imperium. He should have it as well. In fact, is there a more powerful Psyker than the Imperium than Mephiston? I don't think so, right? Not lore-wise, anyway. I mean, for goodness sake, he's conquered the Black Rage, right? They also took away Astrath's 3 damage. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you remember, but Astrath could have 4 damage last edition because he could recite a litany that gave him, I think it was +1 strength, +1 damage. So he did actually go up to 4 damage if you took... I forget the name of the litany now, but it was definitely possible, right? The handle in this Crozius is very close to his backpack. That's a pain in the arse to paint. Just can't see around the other side of it. Living Psychers. Yeah, litanies do no longer exist. I know that, man. Mephiston, yeah, I mean, Mephiston's random damage is like a product of a bygone era, right? Like, there was an era, I guess, many years ago where force weapons were supposed to be unreliable, so his force weapon is D3 damage, but D3 when, like, other characters like Typhus just have flat 3 just feels kind of horrific, right? Like, imagine if Mephiston was flat 3 damage. He would be such an auto-include for Blood Angels. Well, the Emperor is the strongest Psyker. Well, I think if the Mephiston challenges the Emperor to a duel, Marius, I think Mephiston will win, considering the Emperor's been sat constipated for the last, like, millennium, right? So I think if I was a betting man and needed to bet on who would win a duel between Mephiston and the Emperor, I would bet on Mephiston, because I don't think the Emperor is doing anything but sitting there still. I don't know how many duels he's winning. It's heresy. Yeah, okay, it's heresy, sorry. Just wait until they retcon the bit about that we have to like sacrifice 1,000 people to the Emperor. Like we've got to sacrifice 1,000 slaves to the Golden Throne every day to keep it powered or something, right? Like that's going to be retconned, Marius. You know it is. Like that's so like 1980s horror movie style. That doesn't fit with the modern. That doesn't fit with the modern world at all. I mean, I'm kind of a proponent of they should, like, if the lore, like, you know, you wouldn't go back and, like, I can't think of a good example in a movie, but like, if a movie came out in the 80s and the lore was set in the 80s, I'm a advocate of, like, it should just be what it was, right? Like, it's a product of its time, but I bet you it'll get retconned because it just doesn't sit with. It's more like 10,000 souls a day. Yeah, I mean, that just doesn't sit, right? It just doesn't. It just doesn't sit. I don't know how else to say it, but I think it'll get retconned. What's your take on the female custodies? I'm not the hugest person to ask about the lore, because I've only read, like, I've read all the Blood Angels books. I must have only read like 2 of the Horus Heresy books. I found them a slog, honestly. So I think I just don't really, like, I'm someone that just doesn't like change. So, like, I think we should just roll with what was there before, and yeah, I'm just not really like, I don't even know. Like, if they tried to change the Blood Angels lore, I'd just be like, no, that's the lore, we should just leave it, right? Well, I think I mentioned this on stream. Or maybe I just mentioned this around the. You know what? I think I mentioned it in my office. I was watching Empire. No, not Empire. I was watching Return of the Jedi with my 4-year-old. Right? He's never like it's. He only turned 4 in December. We'd watched A New Hope, and we'd watched Empire Strikes Back. But he'd never watched Return of the Jedi. So, and because he's 4, his attention span is like 45 minutes. So, I want to say we're on Act 3 now, right? What we've done is, like, the first time we watched it, we watched, like, Han Solo getting free from Jabba the Hutt. The second time we watched Empire Strikes Back, we did the bit where, like, Yoda dies. The third session, which we did this weekend, which we actually had to turn off because he was getting a bit scared, was like the Emperor. Luke had just been brought before the Emperor, and the Emperor was like, young Skywalker, you were mistaken about a great many things, right? So we're watching it on Disney Plus. On Disney Plus, they have cut some of the scenes from that movie. I guess because that movie was made in the 80s. They've just cut scenes. There's no mention of why they've cut them. They're just missing. And one of the scenes that is missing, which was quite weird, was, right, you know in Return of the Jedi, at the very start, the Twi'lek dancer falls into the Rancor pit, and the Rancor eats the Twi'lek dancer, right? But then, like, 10 minutes later, when Mark Hamill falls in with the Rancor pit, the Rancor eats the Galmorian, and then Mark Hamill kills the Rancor, or squashes him, or I think he kills the Rancor, right? Like, he squashes him, I'm pretty sure he's dead. But they've cut the bit with the Twi'lek slave getting eaten. Like, the Twi'lek slave doesn't get, like, the Twi'lek slave falls in the pit, the door starts opening, and then they never show any of, like, the Twi'lek slave, just that whole scene of the Twi'lek dying or getting eaten by the Rancor is just cut, and, like, the movie just goes on. It doesn't say anything about it, but it was just missing. And I was like, it was only afterwards. It was only like later in the movie, you know, when, like, Mark Hamill falls in, and I was like, oh, hold on a minute, there was a missing scene there. Like, the Twi'lek just fell into the pit, and then that whole bit was just cut. And I was like, okay, that's weird. I mean, like, The Galmorian gets eaten 5 minutes later, so it's not like they're not showing the violence. So I was like, why are we... I suppose that's the problem with streaming platforms in general, right? Like, if you buy a movie on DVD, you always have it. Did she only ever just scream? I don't know, watch it on Disney Plus, man. I think there was another bit that was cut on the sail barge. You know when Princess Leia's in the bikini? They like cut like a whole section out of her being in the bikini, because I was like, you hardly saw her in the bikini. And I was like, it's not even like she was nude, she's in a golden bikini, but no, they cut a bit of that as well. And I was just like, this is weird. Like, who at Disney is making these decisions where they're like, 20 years down the line, we've suddenly decided that we can't show Princess Leia in her bikini for very... Like, she's in the movie in the bikini, just we can't show it for too long, and also we can't show the Twi'lek getting eaten, even though the Galmorian's getting eaten, like 2 minutes later, right? Like, it's just weird, like, you know. And so my opinion of, like, retcons is, like, I'd rather we didn't do retcons, right? Like, in general, that if this is the lore, this is the lore. Why are we messing with it? This is why I guess physical media is king. Because then at least they can't alter my movie. They can't take it away from me. I honestly don't know why they cut those two scenes, but I was a bit confused. But yeah, my 4-year-old was watching Star Wars. Maybe that makes me a bad parent. But he's pretty brave, right? We did Star Tours when we were in Disneyland. He loved it. I believe the movie flowed better to merely imply the Twi'lek's dancer's death. Well, maybe, but I mean, I don't think it needed to be cut, right? Did they cut the bit where the Rancor handler comes in crying? No, I don't think so. You'll have to watch it on Disney Plus, because there's probably other bits that they've cut as well. But I haven't watched Star Wars movies in a very long time. I'm not, yeah. I watched them a lot when I was a kid. The new movies kind of put me off Star Wars, honestly, like 7, 8, and 9. Not really a fan. But yeah, not really a fan of retcons either, I guess. Like, I don't think we need them. Just, if the movie was done in the 80s, it's just a different time, it's a different movie, just let it roll, man. I have the original VHSs and I refuse to ditch them. Dude, I haven't owned a VHS player in like 20 something years at this point. I moved out, so I left home, like I moved out of my parents' house I think it was 1999, and I have never owned, I've never had a VHS player, so I guess 27 years I've never had a VHS player. I've had some VHSs that I took them with me, but I've never owned a VHS player. I don't like the retcon of Anakin's ghost at the end of Return of the Jedi. No, I suppose not, but at least that sort of makes sense that they got the other actor in. But yeah. That's not as jarring as this one, which was just like, we've just cut scenes out of the middle of Empire Strikes Back. Down with the prequels, boo. Oh well. Enough Star Wars talk. Well, we say that. Is anyone actually excited about the Mandalorian movies? Is anyone going to go see that at the cinema? I am so on the fence about it. Like, I don't necessarily hate the Mandalorian and Grogu, but I feel like we already did that. Like, I don't know what that movie can possibly have that's going to make it exciting to me. Like, didn't we already, like what's going to be in that movie? Like, just more of the two of them? Well, we already had 3 seasons of it, so I don't know. Legion talk. What Legion talk are we on about, Phil? I can't decide about Mandalorian and Grogu. Like, part of me wants to go and see it at the cinema, but part of me feels like I'm just going to be disappointed. Star Wars Legion? Do you know what? I've got a lot of Star Wars Legion, man, but I just haven't... I don't think I've played it since I moved into this house. So I haven't played it in 5 years. Probably should just sell it. I was kind of doing this thing where, like, I was trying to, like, I moved into this house just under 5 years ago, and I was trying to do this thing where I was going through my wardrobe, and it was like, if I've been living in this house for 5 years, and I have never worn this piece of clothing, then I should sell it, because why the hell am I keeping it? So I possibly am at the point where I should do that with some of my not video games, like board games as well, right? Like, if I've been living here for 5 years, I'm obviously very committed to doing Blood Angels content now. So if I haven't played Star Wars Legion in 5 years, should I just sell it? I've got a half-painted army, right? My rule is if it's still in a box after 2, it goes. I mean, that's a pretty good rule to have, right? I mean, I think the only rule that the only game I should keep beyond that is if it's a game that I could play with the kids, right? Like, I bought the remaster of Hero Quest. I've not really played it, but I plan to play it with the kids, because I think Hero Quest was like my first game growing up, or like my first board game, like beyond Snakes and Ladders, I guess. So I thought having Hero Quest would be a good one to be able to play with the kids, right? I haven't cared for Star Wars in ages, probably won't care for Star Wars in ages. Yeah, I get you, I hear you. I feel like, to me, Star Wars was like the original 1970s content, right? Like, everything since then I've been kind of a bit indifferent on. I was excited when they announced the prequels, but I guess I don't think they did enough with the original actors. What about the emotional attachment? I have board games I haven't played in ages, but I still keep them in case, you know? Well, I had a bunch of board games I hadn't played in ages, man, but... You know, board games are a weird one in that, like, some of them really hold value. I actually have someone I mean, speaking to someone about this Elder Army, so I've got someone who might be buying my Elder Army off me. So, yeah, I feel like if I just don't do it, I should just move it on, so... I think that Blood Angels are going to get some new models in 10th edition, so realistically me doing any sort of other army except Blood Angels is probably unrealistic, because if we get new models, and Space Marines will get new models as well, so I'll have like a whole starter edition of Space Marine stuff I'll want to paint. So I think any other game goes second. How is Lamarta's only getting painted now? Hasn't he been every single list for 6 months? Because I have both. So this is the third Lamarta's model, right? This one is iteration number 3. There was a metal version of him in like 1994, which I have built and painted. There was a resin version of him that must have come out around the year 2000. I don't know what year it came out. Maybe it came out after 2000, but I've had the resin version of him painted for ages as well. So yeah, I've been using Lamarta's fine. I've just not been using the new model. I just rebase my old models on bigger bases, man. So that's how I've been using them, and how I'm only getting around to painting them now, I guess. I mean, I've got, like, if I wanted to use Astrath tomorrow, I've got the old Astrath as well, right? it would take me 2 seconds to rebase him and just use him, whereas my new Astrath is not painted. CTF says, I would like to start an Orc army, but I can't even finish my Blood Angels. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as well, right? Like, I bought 1,000 points of 1,000 Suns, ironically. 1,000 points of 1,000 Suns, that rhymes. And I bought, obviously, the Eldar army, but like, anytime I've got painting time, I prioritise the Blood Angels models, so it's like, why have I even got these other armies? Because it's Blood Angels I take to tournaments, it's Blood Angels I make videos on, it's just, you know, it's just Blood Angels, Blood Angels, Blood Angels, so moving other stuff on makes sense, I guess. You want to see another Lamartas, a new one for 20 years? Yeah, well, that's good. That means that painting this one will be worth it, man. I actually don't really like it when they retire models that you've spent time and energy on, honestly. I mean, I guess it makes sense for them to refresh the brands or refresh the deals, but like, you know, I'd only just finished getting 30 Sangre Guard ready right before the new Sangre Guard launched. So I haven't really spent any time on the new Sangre Guard because I was like, I just finished 30 Firstborn ones. And I'm not really willing to waste those 30 that I spent the time and effort on. So I want to say I put 18 of them onto new bigger bases, because that's as many as you can field now is 18, right? So I just put 18 of the Sangre Guard on new bigger bases, and I've actually only made one Sangre Guard out of the new box set. And I've just been using all the 17 other ones. I've just been using Firstborn. And I actually, the second one I used, ironically, I made a Blade Guard out of him, right? We're calling him Spear Guard. I've been showing him off on my stream. This is Spear Guard. So he's a converted Blade Guard captain. Blade Guard captain, I guess? I think he's a converted captain, because this is a captain model with the Dead Necron on. But it's a Sangre Guard spear and helmet and shoulder pads, and I think a Firstborn shoulder pad and a converted shield and an Iron Halo. So I'm calling him Spear Guard. I think he's actually dope. Now, after I've made him, I want a squad of Spear Guard for Blood Angels. Like, who wants Blade Guard when you can have Spear Guards, huh? I still use the old Vanguard Vets. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been playing Vanguard Vets, but I imagine... Well, we don't have new ones yet anyway, do we? Vanguard Vets are still Firstborn, right? The rumour is that Vanguard Vets are going to be getting Primaris with this 11th edition box set. Bearded Coyote's taking a little break from his Blood Angels to work on other stuff. Yeah, I mean... I feel like before I had the YouTube channel, I probably could do more than one army. But the YouTube channel takes quite a lot of my free time of the evenings, which makes it probably impossible to do more than one army for me. I'm not upset about that. I like having the channel, but yeah, it's just it's the reality of, like, if I want to have the channel, if I want the channel to keep growing, if I want to put out content every week, I can only do one 40k army, right? The new Vanguard Vets are going to be super hyper let down. Dude, if they're the same nonsense as all the other Primaris, where you can take like one Thunderhammer in the entire squad, then they're going to be a huge letdown. I really hope that they've thought this through. They need to be a real dedicated melee unit with like dedicated melee weapons on every single model. You know, it's not like when you make a squad of Hellblasters, one guy's allowed a Hellblaster. Everybody gets a Hellblaster, right? I really hope we get something positive with the Blood Angels. Bearded Coyote says that I really love the Spear Captain. Yeah, if you want a picture of him, man, I'll send you a picture of him. By all means, copy him. This whole YouTube channel started from me making random ass conversions and sharing them, like, just sharing them on YouTube. And I mean, my first videos were so bad. I got one I made this, I can't even remember what I converted. My very first video was like a conversion video. And I want to say it was it was a terrible video probably because it was my first one. But I got one subscriber from it. I don't know who that was. But that one subscriber gave me the confidence I needed to be like, yeah, okay. Power swords is the best I can do. Ugh. If it's just mastercrafted power swords like Blade Guard, I'm gonna be super disappointed, man. Like at that point, they're just flying Blade Guard, are they? Come on, space. Come on. You're telling me that Primaris Marines never got getting a squad of Thunderhammers or Power Fists? Like, get that shit sorted out. Hello, Antonius. I mean, I do like the new Victrix Guard with the double swords, but like, they're Ultramarines. Blood Angels are supposed to be better in melee than Ultramarines. Like, we gotta get better weapons. I mean, they took away the Sangre Guard axes as well. I mean, I think there was a time where every member of the Sangre Guard was allowed a Power Fist, right? Like, that was a thing. Like, the models... Was that a thing? Everybody was allowed a Power Fist? Heritage weapons are lame and need a real rethink, says Kyle. Yeah, I feel like I agree with you, Kyle. I'm not really a fan of heritage weapons. I think as well I would like I'm not really a fan of how confusing the Death Company is. You know, where it's like, alright, you've got 5 chain swords, you've got 2 eviscerators, you've got some power fists, you've got everybody with a different number of attacks, you've got everyone with a different strength, you've got everyone with a different AP. I mean, like, at least when you had a squad where it was like, alright, my Death Company have 5 power fists, it was pretty easy to be like, that's 3 attacks per guy, 3 times 5 is 15 attacks, right? Like, you know, whereas now it's just like, oh, this squad's got all these random ass weapons and all these random numbers of attacks, and you're supposed to just be able to memorize all that and not make mistakes. And, you know, I mean, I guess you get to a point where you do memorize it and you typically don't make that many mistakes, but like, does it have to be so confusing? My squad of 6 Blade Guard has 2 spears and 3 axes. They're the things I get compliments on the most, says Hangman Sticks. Yeah, well, good for you, Hangman, because I feel like giving your models flavour was one of the coolest things about this hobby. And they kind of squatted that. And I think any time you can give your models flavour, you should give them flavour. Because I think flavour is cool and unique and fun, and it lets you stand out. And if everybody's army is just the carbon copy of each other, then I think it becomes lesser, right? Make all the weapons on the models the same, but give them all the same profile. Yeah, I mean, they kind of did that on the World Eaters, right? Like the 8-bound and the Exalted 8-bound. I actually don't know what weapons they hold in their hands, the 8-bounds, but they definitely have interesting profiles. They have like they have one that's like a melee. Excuse me, they're both melee. They have one that's like anti-infantry and they have one that's like anti-vehicle, right? I was going to say they have melee weapons. Of course they have melee weapons. They're World Eaters. Can you tell that I'm tired today? I did say at the start of the stream I was a little bit tired. World Eaters with melee weapons. I feel like that's pretty obvious. I love your content. Greetings from Mexico. Thanks so much. Are you excited about the World Cup in Mexico this year? Scotland are going to be at the World Cup this year, by the way. We get people from all over, man. It's nice. I like the range of people we have. Like, people from all over the world watch this channel. I think it's super cool. The world... birds fly, the sun shines, grass grows, and the world eaters have melee weapons. Yeah, I mean, that's literally how obvious that is. Sorry. Damn those world eaters, huh? I feel like I had to play World Eaters an awful lot last edition. I haven't had to play them nearly as much this time round. I would be okay with simplified profiles. Death Company, as they are terrible to play with. Yeah, I think that's what I was trying to say, right? Is like, unified profiles would be much better. I really hope that's sort of what the Vanguard veterans are. Like, if Vanguard veterans getting a refresh, I really hope they have some sort of unified melee profile. But it needs to be good, right? It can't just be dog shit. Like, it needs some real punch. Fast moving, flying punch is what I'm after. I don't know, have you seen the shooting the World Eaters can deal out now? I mean, I guess the Forge Fiends are pretty nice, Phil. And what's the other one that's pretty tasty? The Lord of Skulls has kind of a crazy amount of shooting. I guess they lack rerolls though, right? The new combat patrols are the same. Every model has a different weapon, and they're a nightmare to play with. Yeah, it's a real strange one, right? Because their design philosophy for this edition was supposed to be like making the game a little bit simpler, and then you've got all these squads where like you've just got one guy with a completely different weapon to everybody else. I don't know. And then I guess if you don't model your models with the one extra weapon, then you get screwed as well. Yeah, it's somewhat weird, I guess. You provide the most complete content about Blood Angels. That's why I enjoy your videos a lot. Well, I appreciate that, dude. Thank you very much. I do try and provide good Blood Angels content as often as possible. So thanks so much for watching. Appreciate that. All the tanks have rapid fire. Oh yeah. The World Eaters do have a crazy amount of rapid fire now, don't they? Even Land Raiders have rapid fire las cannons. I mean, that's thematic, right? They're just shooting off like crazy. They just don't hit very often. Must admit, I haven't really played too many World Eaters players that have focused on anything other than Forge Fiends and Lords of Skulls, though. Anyone try Death Company with 10 Chaplain on foot? I don't imagine too many people have tried it, dude. Like, whenever it's brought up, people kind of think that, like, Death Company just work better with jump packs, and the squad on foot's kind of expensive for what it is, right? You don't get that many special weapons. Phil has, though, there you go. I forget Phil was playing that list with like 120 Firstborn Marines. Yeah, you're crazy, Phil. But we love you for being crazy. Hello, Highland Phoenix, good evening. You know, I've got a horrible feeling that I'm going to get all these Death Company Eviscerators painted, and then next edition they're going to change the loadouts on the Death Company again, and they're not going to be allowed to take Eviscerators. Anyone think that, or is it just me? Usually, I was going to say, the way it works is like, if I finish a model, then the rules have to change so that a model is invalid. Charlie says, good evening, just had an ace commission done by Mike Paints Red. Thanks for introducing to him on the channel. Can't recommend him enough. Well, there you go. Look at that. That's cool. What did he paint for you, Charlie? I was going to say, I had Mike paint quite a lot of stuff for me last year, but maybe I need to get back into it. I mean, I enjoy painting my models myself, I guess. I just wish I could get more done more quickly, right? That's probably where I stand. I think the non-track transports have the best chance. I don't know what you mean, Centipede. What track transports have the best chance? Oh right, with the 10 Death Company on foot. Yeah, I mean, it's probably not the worst unit in the world, right? Like if you're desperate to run 10 Death Company on foot, you probably can. It just seems to me like if I'm fielding Death Company, I usually always field with jump packs. And the thing is, I think the way that I justify it in my brain is like jump packs are a hell of a lot cheaper than a transport. But I mean, I think a few people have probably got the Firstborn Death Company on foot to be decent for them. I just must admit I've not been willing to give them, or I've not given them a good enough try. I always seem to, if I take Death Company, I always seem to fall back on jump units. I just think they're the sort of unit you need to get in fast, do some killing, and you don't want to spend 100, 200 points on a transport to get them there when there's only like what 20, 30, 40 points more to get the jump packs, something like that. The shooting Death Company or foot are trash though. Oh well, yeah, I mean, I guess the ones that have bolt rifles are very bad. And I guess at the start of the edition that was the only option, right? It was the assault version of them came out later. But I still don't know if if you put them next to assault intercessors, it's not like they're really any better than assault intercessors. You could even argue assault intercessors are better because they at least get to reroll a bunch of wound rolls, right? So yeah, I think there's a big question mark in my brain about how good Death Company and foot are, and that's why I just end up basically never fielding them. Why was limb for limb on that when you had better units to use? Oh, why use limb for limb on Death Company and foot when you've got better units to use? Yeah, I mean, I get, good point. Yeah, why, you know, like, they're just not the best. Everything looks amazing with limb for limb. I mean, it's a great stratagem. It's arguably our best. I mean, it's the best stratagem in that detachment, right? I think Death Company Assault Intercessors are good for the cost. What are you paying for them? I thought they were 85 points. Are they different? But we really need a good transport for 11 plus models. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the problem, right? Like, the only transport that you can do that with is a Land Raider or a Repulsor, and both those things are super expensive. I kind of agree with you there, Antonius. Because here's the thing, like, assault intercessors are 75 points, right? And they have 2 OC per model. And they don't need a captain to give them... They don't need a character attached... Excuse me, not a captain. A chaplain? They don't need a character or a chaplain attached to give them OC, right? So they're 10 points more... They're essentially 10 points more than the regular assault intercessors, but they don't have any OC. Right, heroic intervention on a unit of Death Company is maybe okay, but the Overwatch with their bolt pistols or bolt rifles is terrible. So you maybe have a heroic intervention, but then you don't have any OC potentially. Unless you're going to pay like 75 points, or I think it's 60 points for a character. And then you're talking about the transport. I just can't see it, guys. I think we need some... I actually don't even own any Death Company. I suppose I could just field my assault intercessors on foot. But like I've never built that unit because I just don't see it being strong. Which is funny because I build just about every single unit for... I can even build Ultramarine units, but I've never built the Death Company on foot. I just don't see it, man. Transporting them is just too expensive. 10 Death Company on foot gives you 2 Eviscerators, 1 Special Pistol and 1 Power Fist. That's 160 points. They're a mid-board bully unit. Yeah, I mean, I guess they're cheap enough that they could bully some things. They can sit in... I suppose it's the same as, like, taking a squad of Blade Guard, where, like, you're just going to try and be around the middle and be a nuisance. It's not the worst. Maybe at some point... I mean, I just tried the Death Company Dreadnought for the first time, right? This last week or so. So maybe at some point I'll try... 10 Death Company on foot. I just really struggle to see it as a solid competitive choice, right? Repulsors, I find, are bullet magnets, dude. They don't typically survive. Like, I would rather feel impulsors than repulsors, because at least impulsors get a 5-up. Like, assume you take the... I think you should take the shield dome. Assume you take that. At least they get a 5-up, right? It's 500 points. Yeah, it's just too many points for, like, what I would say is an average unit. Like, most of it is strength 4 chainswords. Sure, the chaplain gives them +1 to wound, but it's still just strength 4 chainswords. You don't have any rerolls or nothing in there. I guess you reroll ones, but the regular assault intercessors, they can on the objectives they can reroll everything, and they have 2 OC per guy. Yeah, I mean, sticky on death, maybe. I mean, I feel like we're reaching a bit. Maybe I need to try them, but yeah, I do feel like you have to reach beyond some edge cases to make those models feel really exciting. Wolf 2 says, I'm currently building my first ever squad of scouts, chainswords, combat knives, sniper for fun, rule of cool, and a heavy bolter. Yeah, I think the chainsword and knives are definite. The sniper in the scouts is, I would say, is like if we had to pick one weapon in 40k that's the most unreliable piece of shit ever, I'm going to say it's that sniper and the scouts, because the amount of games where I shoot that one-shot sniper and either fail to hit or fail to wound, I feel like it's every fucking game. I mean, it feels like that is, like, if I had to choose in my Blood Angels army, the most unreliable weapon in my army, it's that scout with the sniper rifle. He's never, ever, not once, has he turned up for, like, shooting practice. He's like, you know, he's like the kid in school that played truant all the time. No, my hunter-killer missiles are more reliable than that sniper rifle, 100%, and you only get to shoot the hunter-killers once per game. They are way more reliable. That sniper rifle, I don't know if I'm damned, but that sniper rifle in the scout squad is the most unreliable gun that I ever field, I feel like. It never does anything. I must have shot it 100 times. I think it took 2 wounds off somebody once. But yeah, I mean, I think it's probably the right choice. It's like, you know, it's probably the right choice to put it on the model, but like, my luck with it is just dog shit, man. Absolute dog shit. I feel like Death Company units, these modern ones, don't have enough drip. Like, I built that Death Company army box and found there was no Death Company specific sculpts. Sarakin, you are 110% right. That is why the Death Company that I'm making, these Primaris ones, are using, like, that's a Sanguinary Guard shoulder, that's a Firstborn chainsword, that's a Firstborn Death Company helmet, that's a Firstborn Death Company shoulder, that's a Firstborn Death Company sword. My other one is like, that's a 3D printed sword, that's a Blade Guard helmet, that's a Firstborn Death Company shoulder pad, and that's probably one of the upgrade sprue shoulder pads. But like, you remember when the jump packs all had the cool ass Death Company bits on them, and everybody had different helmets? Like, you are 100% right. There is not enough customization on the new Death Company models, or I would say even the Blood Angels models in general, right? Like, that's probably why I haven't built too many of the new Sanguinary Guard, because the Firstborn Sanguinary Guard, in my opinion, are better. The Firstborn Death Company, in my opinion, are better. We used to get our own tactical squads with like custom shoulder pads. I bought some like beak helmets from Forge World. Here's the thing, right? Like, the thing I have heard is even the Sanguinary Guard don't have wings. Yeah, I mean, my Sanguinary Guard have wings. I bought third-party ones to put on them. The thing I have heard is, like, some of the newer players like the fact that the models don't, like, Death Company models, for example, take a notoriously long time to paint. You know, all those little bits of drip and detail. If you are just like a tournament player that just wants to get stuff ready, do you want to be painting 100 little purity seals on a guy? I know they're not all purity seals, but you get my point. Like, this Death Company model here, he's got shit on his both legs, he's got extra shit on his chest piece, he's got shit on his power fist, you know, he's got drip on his, blood drops on his helmet, blood drops, you know, little goblets on his guns, little blood drops on his jump packs. You know, like, I can understand, like, I guess if you're a new player and you're just trying to get battle ready and you don't give a shit about the lore and you just want to play and kill stuff, go to tournaments, yeah, maybe you don't want as much of the nonsense or the drip. But me personally, someone that's been playing since, I think I've been playing Warhammer since 1994, yeah, you know, it's about 1994 because I've been selling some of those old transfer sheets on eBay, by the way. Like, not transfer sheets, what they called? Do you remember the paper? That's what it is, the paper banners. Remember these? Let me show you. So I've been here for forever, and I like all the old bits and bobs. And I feel sad that the new ones don't have as much customization, but I mean, that's just, it's just what it is right now. There's not too much we can do about it. Yeah, let me show you. I've got, like, for example, like, this is one of my eBay auctions at the moment. I've got this, like, it's a sticker from 1995. And I believe this was the Ultramarines Dreadnought flag. Remember when the Dreadnought had the old metal, the bar that came out the top of it and had the flag on it, and that metal bar broke on, like, everybody's Dreadnought? Like, no one has one of those Dreadnoughts with the bar still not broken. I mean, maybe somebody does, but most people's bars are on those old Dreadnoughts are broken. But I've got some of those banners in mint condition, so I've just been selling them because I'm like, I don't go that far back, but I can totally understand why people that were around all those, like, I wouldn't sell any of the Blood Angels ones I have, but I had some Orc ones, had some Elder ones, had some Imperial Guards ones, because when I was a kid I collected all sorts of armies. And I guess the Ultramarines one would have just been, I bought a Dreadnought, and it was, you know, like, back in the day you didn't buy a Blood Angels Dreadnought, you just bought a Space Marine Dreadnought and it had the Ultramarines banner in them. So I've been selling some of those old, I sold one for, like, Ultramarines Command Squad. I got $20 for it. Considering it was like a tiny little bit of paper like this size, the package that I put in, like this size, the package I had it on eBay was like giant. But yeah, if you want Blood Angels pieces, the best thing to do is look on eBay for the old boxes, the Firstborn boxes. The shoulder pads and the helmets from the Firstborn are totally compatible. The weapons are a little bit smaller. Like, this guy here is a Primaris model. You can see that his weapons are a tiny bit smaller, you know, like, than the actual Primaris weapons. But not as much that you might not notice if you weren't looking. A little bit smaller, right? But probably close enough. And these ones have blood drops on them, and these ones have wings on them. So if you want, you can, there's still ways to find it, and then there is 3D printed places that will do you, there's 3D printed places that do Blood Angels upgrades. One of the best ones is Grey Tide Studios. So if you know, I've made a few videos on Grey Tide. They're very reasonable. You can buy them in the UK, you can buy them in the US. My US affiliate actually sells Grey Tide pieces. But yeah, I'm not the hugest fan how we've lost a lot of the stuff that lets us army be unique and cool and stand out, man. I certainly feel like that was something that we had, that I valued, and yeah, it's a little bit sad. Jonah says, I want Seth to come back. I think he'll come back. Probably sometime during next edition. I think he'll be back. I'd be surprised if he isn't. No, Mac, it's going well today, thanks for asking. Just chilling, just doing a bit of painting. I'm a little bit tired today though, my kids have been, the last 2 nights have been up in the middle of the night with the kids, so... but yeah, apart from that, pretty good. Pretty good, thanks for asking. But yeah, here's the thing, right? I often field models at tournaments that aren't fully painted. Like there's such a thing called battle ready, where your models are like half ready. So I'm often fielding stuff at tournaments that is what I would call battle ready, like basically half ready. So if there was too much quote-unquote drip on the model, you can always field it like half ready, and then like typically when I'm painting any model, I'm getting 3 colours on it as quickly as possible and then basing it. And then I've got drawers that are just full of models that are half painted, 3 colours and based. So if I go to a tournament, I can use all those models, but then down the line, like, let's say tomorrow they decide that like Death Company are no longer a good unit, and they nerf the rules. All these models here, all these Death Company models, they're based, they've got 2 or 3 colours on them. I would just put them all in the drawer and be like, right, Death Company aren't good again. Let's just put them in the drawer for 6 months and let's go start painting stuff that is good. That's how I tend to roll. So I don't care if the models have a lot of detail, right? Like, I'll get to them eventually, right? Like, if you tuned into the channel a month ago, I was painting. Well, I mean, I think that's probably why I did this like spear guard guy, right? Like, he's gold, brown, white, blue. So this guy already has 4 colours on him. So I would just need to put something on his base, maybe give him like a red trim on one of these shoulder pads or something, and I could be like, right, he's good enough where he could be played in a tournament, and I'll just leave him for now. And I mean, the same with this Dreadnought. I mean, he's obviously not finished, he's not even close to finished, but has he got enough colours on him where he hits the minimum 3 colours? Yes, of course he does. So he can be played in a tournament, and over time I'll get back to him and I'll finish him, right? Like, better to have half an army half painted than like 1 squad fully done, right? Evening, Crycheck, how you doing? I think I'm gonna need a new paint, a new pot of Mephiston Red. This one is, I don't use Mephiston Red all that often, so this one is, because I'm usually more of an Evil Sun Scarlet person, but Mephiston Red I do use a bit on Death Company, so I think I need to put on my shopping list a new pot of Mephiston Red. CFT, have a nice evening. Thanks for hanging out, dude. Hopefully your kids won't keep you up tonight. The joys of parenthood, huh? I like your description of paint as Battle Ready Plus. Yeah, well, I know I'm never going to win Golden Demon Fill, right? So, but I do like my models to look as good to the best of my ability as I can do, so I get them battle ready, basically, by getting like the 3 colours and the bases on them ASAP, and then I'll come back and spend, I think, on average, I probably spend about 5 hours per infantry. That's probably it's probably a pretty bad ratio, like in terms of like I probably spend a lot of time more than other people and have a less good paint job. But I mean, I think the thing with paint jobs is like you can go as far or as little on them as you want, right? It's a skill in themselves, knowing when to quit or knowing when to move on to the next model. I spend more time on characters. Yeah, I mean, I maybe spend a little bit more time on the characters as well. Where are you located, Sarkin? Which country? I mean, I always really recommend looking on eBay as well. The amount of deals you'll get on eBay for 40k stuff is, you know, I think people are always jumping in and out of the hobby. Alright, you're in the UK. Cool. Then Archie's Forge is probably a good option for you. But yeah, I mean, there's deals to be had in the UK. Because I bought a bunch of Firstborn Death Company bits and Sangreguard bits that I could use to customize my Primaris models, man. I mean, I guess you sometimes just have to play a little bit over the odds, but there's not much you can do about that, is there? Hello, Quicks. And Tony's bought Archie Forge shoulder pads in the US. I didn't realise they shipped to the US, but okay. When is the BA Commander Mascot going to make a stream debut? I asked you what you want to do about this, Phil. I think he deserves his own video, does he? I think I aimed to put him in his own video. I'll just call the video "I Have a Mascot" and we'll get a picture. What do you think? They do ship to the US, we just need to pay a little premium. Man, international shipping sucks, doesn't it? It's far too expensive. I think I mentioned this on stream before, but maybe you weren't. You weren't in the stream. A few years back, there was a news reporter who worked out that it was cheaper for him to fly London to New York and buy a new iPhone in like the New York store of Apple or whatever, than it was to go into and then fly home as well, than it was to go into the Apple store in London and buy the iPhone, because of like the dollar to pound ratio and how much we get shafted on Apple devices here in the UK, I guess, because they're an American company. Imagine that. Imagine jumping on a flight, transatlantic flight, for like 7 hours to go to a store to buy an iPhone, because that's cheaper than like going to the store down the street from you. It's wild, isn't it? I know a friend that went to a stag do, you know, like one of those, I'm sure you know what a stag do is. I don't think there's a language change there. He went to a stag do in America and he bought a new iMac. Or not an iMac, MacBook, and he threw the box away so he wouldn't get taxed on it when he took it home. Because I guess it was that much cheaper to just buy the MacBook when he was in America than it was to like buy one here. Sorry, I missed you keep missing your things, Centipede. Dante is 500 years old. Or 500 years ago. I always love hitting the shops when UK employees come to the States. Yeah, last time I was in the States, we went to like a Nike store, and I could not believe the prices. I think most people leave Mephiston at home for his random ass damage. Do you know, I watched that movie recently. I think the movie's just called Air. It's like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon about Nike in the like 1980s when they were like apparently quite shit, basically. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I feel like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon always used to be in movies together, and then they stopped doing them together. But I think it was free on Amazon Prime. Mephiston does indeed need D3 plus 1 damage. I think it's so dumb that he's D3 damage. He's so unreliable. I feel like Mephiston always lets me down. I've taken him to two GTs now, and both times I took him to GTs, people told me not to take him because he's too unreliable. And both times I feel like he's let me down in key moments, because he'll roll a bunch of 1s for his damage, and it's just like, oh my goodness, he just did nothing. I think in one of the games that I played at the recent GT, my opponent actually shot Mephiston with the double Gladiator Lancer. So like AP4, D6 plus 3, he moved the Lancer within lone operative range and shot both barrels at him. I think I rolled the double 6. I think it was because he didn't die that game, so I think that he popped off on the save. I think it was a clutch moment. I still lost the game, but I think it was pretty cool. Probably the laser destroyer did no damage to him, and then he probably took like 2 or 3 chip damage from the friggin' stubbers. That's how it always works in 40k, isn't it? It's always the stubbers or the bolters that get you. Mephiston needs a dual profile. Yeah, his psychic powers could use a buff as well, honestly. Strength 5 for his psychic is pretty underwhelming. I always feel like his smite is going to do more than it should. Yeah, I always feel like he's going to do something with his smite, and it always underwhelms. Like I think I remember when his smite was good, and it's just not good now, right? Oh, Centipede, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. I will update the counter.
I have a look.
I usually only look for 10 gifted membership, or I usually only look for 10 members a month. But I think it was Antonius did 50 on Saturday night, and I typoed the counter. So it said like 57 out of 100, so I was like, ah, fuck it, I'm gonna roll with it. I normally only look for 10 members,
I have a look.
but apparently I typoed the counter. If you got a free membership, please use it. There's a Discord room, !Discord in chat. My bot should give you the Discord link. And there's also a members only room in the Discord. So you should be able to join that as well. Oh, hello Mike. Oh, I thought it was Mum that was coughing. You okay? You okay? Okay. Alright. I'll be back. Come on, come on. I thought it was my wife coughing outside. I heard him coughing, sorry. Oh, I'm sore, man. I was in the gym this weekend. I'm still sore. I did way too much. Yeah, I would be on board with him making Mephiston more points. Like, make him more points, but just make him more badass, right? Like, much more badass. Like, what has he got? 6 wounds. Give him 8. What has he got? Toughness 5. Give him 6. Maybe even 7, right? Like, he's the fucking Lord of Death. He's toughness 7. 7 wounds. No, 7 toughness, 8 wounds. What camera do you use for the miniature painting? I use my iPhone, man. Like, that's my iPhone. I just have an app that connects, so the iPhone is plugged into the computer via USB-C. Or maybe it's not USB-C, maybe it's just, well, yeah, the iPhone is USB-C, so it's plugged into the USB-C, and then it's just an app. The app is called, like, Droid Cam. I think you get it on, I think it's an Android app, but I'm just using an iPhone, because the iPhone's got a better camera, right? Mephiston should be 7, 7, 7. 7 strength? No, we don't do strength anymore. So 7 wounds, 7 attacks. No. Is that what you mean? 7 wounds, 7 attacks? Thanks again for the 5 tonight, Centipede. I really do appreciate it, man. It always, you know... I don't know. I don't know how to say this nice, but it's always nice to get a super chat or a gifted membership. So thank you so much for that. Toughness, wounds, attacks. Give him an anti-tank psyker ability. Man, that would be pretty cool. I liked it when he could fly, man. You know, like, I would like it if he could fly again. That was pretty cool. Because you could move, then you could fly. Will you be running a drawing contest this year? You know, I probably should run something. I was talking a little bit about like last year we did, I think it's the last 2 years now, we've done like charity things where we gave away some, like last year we gave away models on the channel. The year before we did that charity raffle. So I'll probably have a think. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. The thing that annoys me about the charity raffles is the YouTube algorithm buries those videos, like aggressively buries the videos, right? Because someone reached out to me on Discord and was like, John, are you going to do a charity raffle this year? Drugnet LV. Drugnet? I don't know how you say that, dude. Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for becoming a member. We have a members only Discord room, so ! Discord and chat if you don't have the link, or you can find the link in the video description. Come join us there. I try and chat in that Discord channel every single day. Yeah, like it's the same as like if you've got a Facebook page. If you put a link on a Facebook page that like links off Facebook, the algorithm will kill you. Like, it'll just kill you because ultimately Facebook want you to stay on Facebook, right? Like, they don't want you to leave Facebook. And YouTube's just the same. So if you put a video out that links away from YouTube, like a video that links to, let's say, a charity raffle or giveaway, they just bury the shit out of that video, man. Yeah, ! Discord, it should, unless my bot's taking the night off, it should put the link into the chat. My bot does like to be a slacker, though. I think it's because I don't pay him anything. No, he's here. He's listening. But yeah, so someone reached out to me and was like, I want to give you a prize for this year's charity raffle. And I do super appreciate that. But it really pissed me off how bad YouTube buries a video, and like I don't know how to get around that. And I feel like I could have made a lot more money for the charity last year. I mean, the charity raffles have done okay, but like, where was it? Let me see if I can find it. It's this one, right? So like this video here, 6,000 views. The charity video, 300 views. The next video, 8,000 views. The next video, 9,000 views. You know, like a 20,000 subscriber video. Take it or leave it. That's fine, I guess. The next video, 15,000 views. The next video, 17,000 views. So like, and if we go the other way, 5,000, 7,000. It's just, this video gets 300 views. It's like YouTube just kills that. You know, we put $600 worth of prizes into that raffle. Yeah, we made like whatever it was. I think we made. There's probably another video actually, like where I sum it up, or maybe I posted the final thing on Facebook, right? But like, we made like, I think it was $2,000 for. I think it was like $2,000 it made, dollars. And it's just like, it's maybe the title. It's not the title though. It's just YouTube bury the fuck out of it because it's linking away from YouTube, right? That's why they do it. Yeah. So we raised. I have awoken. 2,000. Yeah. Greg, thanks so much for coming over. We raised £2,275 for a children's hospital, St Jude's Children's Hospital. This was a children's hospital in America. I honestly don't know too much about St Jude's, only that I think it was Alex was one of the big proponents of, like, he said, like, this is a really good charity. It's like a non-profit hospital for children that need like surgeries or you know, that have problems that they wouldn't be able to get the treatment without help. But like, that really annoys me about, like, because if only 300 people have seen it, like, if it showed it to even half my subscribers, how much could we have raised? We could have raised $5,000 or something. But yeah, no. Will I do another charity wrap? Probably. I'll probably do one. Promote it more on the community tab. I think the second you link away from YouTube, they bury it, Lowbrain, right? Like, they just don't want you to link. Like, so if I put out any content that has a link in it that takes people away from YouTube, you ever see those posts on Facebook where someone posts up a thing on Facebook, but they don't actually put the link? They put the link in the comment. I think that's like their way of trying to get around it, where it's like, you know. Because if they put the link in the Facebook post, then Facebook will just bury it. Because they're like, we don't want you to link off of our platform. You know, we've got the users on our platform. We don't want them to leave, sort of thing. Yeah, let that stuff don't discourage you. Yeah, I know I need to, man, but it annoys the crap out of me. It's like it's. I suppose it's a bit like capitalism. I don't know. I don't actually know how. I don't actually know what I'm getting upset at, but yeah. So yeah, will I do some sort of giveaway again? Yes, I'm gonna do it. I just haven't planned anything yet, but I'm just still bitter about that last one because I feel like it did really well. But I feel like it could have done even better if they didn't bury it on me. I have awoken. Slaith the Spaceman, thank you so much for subscribing. I still have to build Land Raider with the bits that I won from the last charity auction. Oh, don't say that, man. You'll the people that were also wanting to win that Land Raider will have your head off. I think that the charity auction we did last year, there was a really cool Vindicator kit, and I've actually looked for the Vindicator conversion kit again, and I don't know if they still make it. Because I thought that Vindicator kit, like, when it came to give away for the auction, I was like, man, I kind of don't want to give this away now. This Vindicator kit is so nice. Greg says, I've been watching your content for about a year now. After discovering the Discord, I feel guilty not paying something for all your great content. Thanks for helping me be better. Dude, don't feel guilty, man. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. It's honestly an honor of mine to have the viewership numbers that I have, and to have, you know, so many people tune in to the live streams or the weekly. Like, I feel very blessed to have the channel. I'm not gonna lie, getting some money is nice. I'm sure everybody in the economy at the moment feels the same way, though, right? Like the economy of this world at the moment is a bit bonkers. But no, but you know, everybody's welcome. You don't need to pay, but I do certainly appreciate it. Thank you so much, Greg. If I wanted everyone to pay, it would make members only content, right? Like, you know, I don't think that's something I'm interested in doing. I feel like that's very exclusionist. I mean, I know a bunch of other channels do it for 40k content, but I quite like being the Blood Angels guy, right? I quite like it. Could we try and? I mean, maybe we'll try that. Like, if we make the video of this, I was actually thinking about that Neuroxin, where like I'll just make a regular tactics video with a really engaging topic, and like 1 minute into the video I'll be like, and by the way, this year we're doing the charity raffle. Does everybody drill their barrels? I must admit, I do not. A lot of people do, but I've never done it, so I'm not going to start now and go back and drill the barrels of like 10,000 points that already got painted. So yeah, I'm personally not a barrel drilling guy. But I think a lot of people are passionate about the drilling of said barrels, but unfortunately it's not me. Oh, thank God I'm not alone in this. You're not alone in the terms of that you drill them or you didn't drill them. Right, I hear my son coughing quite a lot, which means my wife is probably struggling to settle him. So I'm going to take off in just a couple of minutes here. It's kind of my job to settle the kids. At bedtime anyway, because my wife deals with them like the entire day. I don't drill them at all. Well, yeah, I mean, up until recently, I painted all the underside of my vehicles, like the tanks and that. And then one of my friends, Tony, was basically saying, like, why do you waste your time painting underneath your tanks? No one's ever picking up and looking at your tank's underside. And I was like, you know what? You make a good point. As stubborn as I am, why am I wasting time painting the bottom of the tanks? Because if time is limited, which it is, why don't I just not paint the bottom or the underside of the tanks anymore and save a bit of time and spend that time, you know, in a better place doing something more useful or more meaningful? So I was like, I think going forward I am actually going to stop painting the underside of my tanks, even though I've always done it. So you pick up habits, you change things. I think I did a crap job of spraying this model, actually. I think this model might have been sat in the drawer for a very long time, so I don't know if it was... I don't know how well it was sprayed. Because it seems like there's lots of bits of it that are a little bit patchy and also a little bit of white on it. I definitely didn't spray underneath the arms very well. I'm just putting some black paint in there to tidy that up a bit. I think it's funny when people say drilled barrels for realism on their superhuman space monsters. You're looking to upset someone tonight, aren't you, Wolf? Because you're about to get hung, drawn and quartered on the Discord. They'll be like, that Wolf 2 guy said this about drilled barrels. You better watch out. I have a judge at a local GT that generally checks the bottom of tanks to see if they're painted. Oh my goodness, tell him to fuck off. Like, we've got more time, man. I think there should be a... If you have more than... I was going to say, if you have any children, you're allowed a bit of a leeway on painting the underside of your tanks. Come on. I'm not doing it anymore. I think that's fair. Why paint an art? Yeah, with that attitude, we may as well not do anything. Yeah, it's a highly controversial topic. Drilling your barrels. I know that I should probably do it, but I feel like if I start another army, maybe I would do it. I would need to, get in on the ground up, I guess. I don't want to go back. I generally hate having to go back to models that I already finished. I think that's my problem. Because I feel like if I'm going backwards, how the hell am I ever getting forwards? But I think that's probably just like a time thing since I've had kids. Because before I had kids, I got so much painted. Because my painting table was, I think I've said it before, my painting table was just set up in the living room. It was just there all the time. Anytime my wife was watching some junk on Netflix, she gets very angry when I call it junk, but like anytime she was watching something on Netflix that I didn't care about, which let's face it was most of the time, I would just get painting. I have to paint the bottom of my tanks because I pick them up and look at them. I'm just going to paint mine a flat, like I'm just going to paint the whole thing red, right? Underneath the tank. And then I'm not going to, like I'm probably not going to do any tracks, or I'm not going to do it, like, but before I think I would do all the details and stuff underneath. Might even like shade underneath, like that seems like a waste of energy if I'm so time poor with the kids, right? But yeah, do what you can to make the best of your hobby time. That's my advice. Lace says, I drill them. I like how it looks. It doesn't take that long. Yeah, I imagine if you get into the habit of doing it at the start, it probably takes like, what, 20 seconds, 30 seconds per model? Like I said, if I was starting a new army, I'd probably drill them all. Slaying the Space Marine says, thank you for the warm welcome. Saw the stream was live and wanted to pop in, so what's going on here? I mean, we just... what's going on is I'm going to bed, but normally on a Wednesday night we do battle reports. The channel usually does battle reports on a Wednesday night, so next week there'll be a battle report on Wednesday night. That'll be Blood Angels versus Necrons. Friday is a weekly tactics video. Saturday is usually painting. Sunday is usually community submitted army list reviews. And then if there's any other content in the week, it's usually something somewhat throwaway because the other pieces of content take quite a lot of time to prepare and make. But I have got this video I'm working on about spraying models. And I will be back on Friday with a video about Astrath. I'll be back on Saturday night to do more painting. And Saturday night's Valentine's Day. Okay, Saturday night I'm unsure. Maybe we'll be back on Saturday night. I'd like to paint, but we'll... Man, I hate artificial holidays. That's what I think. That's what I think Valentine's Day is. I think it's an artificial holiday. It was made up by somebody to sell you something, I think. But maybe other people believe differently. I feel like there's enough artificial holidays, and Valentine's is one of them that I do not really attest to. But I might not be here. Happy wife, happy life, says Jonah 1. Yeah, exactly. So you might see me on Saturday. I'll post on Discord if I'm going to be here on Saturday night. How about that? Guys, have a great evening. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, next week will be Necrons. Blood Angels versus Necrons. I've got a new list. I'm taking more Chaplains and more Jump Death Company. And I'm half thinking about dropping one of the Death Company Dreadnoughts. Maybe for a Lancer. Just so I've got something that's anti-tank. That's kind of where I'm at with it. That's what I think would be different, but also good. So, leave a like if you didn't do that already. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks to the new members and the gifted memberships. We look forward to the Astrath video. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it, because I think Astrath has had no love this edition, so a video about him should be pretty cool, right? Like, nobody's playing Astrath, no one's really even mentioned him in the Rage Cursed Onslaught, so the video is to decide on whether he is worthy in that detachment or not. I think I'm playing against Awakened Dynasty, but I'll post the list as soon as I know for next week's battle report. Alright. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Good night.